Hi guys, welcome back to Beyond Books with Mamta. Today we will learn about the interrogative sentences. This video is divided in three parts. In today's video, we will learn about what is an interrogative sentence, what are the types of interrogative sentences, and how to change a declarative sentence with an action verb into an interrogative sentence. So, let's get started. An interrogative sentence is a sentence that asks a question and that always ends with a question mark. These sentences always end with a question mark. In simple words, we can say that an interrogative sentence is a sentence in which we ask a question to someone. We have some sentences here. Do you go for a walk? This is a question. Second sentence is, how old are you? This is again a question. Third sentence is, why did you push him? This is also a question. But what is a question? A question is a sentence for which we always get an answer or we get some information. We get some answer or we get some information. Suppose we ask this question to somebody, do you go for a walk? The person will definitely give you an answer. Either he will say yes or he will say no. When you ask the second question to somebody, how old are you? He may say, I am 20 years old. So you have got some information for this question. When you say, why did you push him? Again, when you ask this question to somebody, the person will give you an answer. He may say, I pushed him by mistake. So these all are the questions and these questions are called the interrogative sentences. We can also say that the interrogative sentence is the other name for a question. And questions are very important, not only in grammar but also in our day-to-day lives. Is there a single day when we don't ask questions? Is there any? Think about it. Now, if I ask you to quickly think of a question, you can do it right now. Can you think of a question? I think you must have thought, what is your name? What is your name? Did you think this question? Please comment if you thought of some other question. Now, let's come to the types of questions or the types of interrogative sentences. We have three types of interrogative sentences. The first one is yes-no questions. The second is information questions. And the third one is choice questions. Let's learn about them one by one. Let's first start with the yes-no questions. Yes-no questions are those questions for which we always get the answer either in yes or in no. Suppose I ask you, why are you smiling? So what would you say? Yes or no? And if I ask you, how are you? Then what would you answer? Yes or no? No, you will not answer like that. But if I ask you, do you want some coffee? So for this question, you will say either yes or you will say no. You might say, yes, I want some coffee. Or you may also say, no, I don't want any coffee. If I ask you the next question, that is, did you attend the party? Again, you will answer in yes or no. Yes, I attended the party. No, I did not attend the party. If again I ask you, is she your aunt? You will say, yes, she is my aunt. Or you may also say, no, she is not my aunt. So these are the yes-no questions. Yes-no questions are those questions for which we always get the answer either in yes or in no. Now let's come to the second type of questions. The second type of interrogative sentences are the information questions. Information questions, as the name only suggests, when we ask these questions, we will get some information. These questions always start with WH family or how. They can start with the WH family also, and they can start with how also. What do we mean by WH family? In WH family, we have those question words which always start with WH, like what. What start with WH? What, where, when, why, who, whom, etc. And these questions may start with how also. Now let's come to some examples of the information questions. We have the first sentence here that says, why are you angry? If you ask this question to somebody, the person will give you some information. He will tell you the reason for getting angry. The second question here is, where do you live? When you will ask this question to someone, again you will get some information. The third one is, how are you feeling now? You may get the reply, I am feeling better. So you will get some information for these questions. Now let's come to the third and the last type of interrogative sentences, that is the choice questions. Choice questions are those questions for which you have to have a choice. Means you have to choose something out of two things or out of many things. Let's learn this with the help of some examples. The first sentence here is, would you like to have some coffee or tea? Now you are given the choice. You can have the coffee or you can have the tea. You have to choose one thing out of these two. This is a choice question. The second sentence here is, do you want the pink dress or the yellow dress? Again, you have to choose one thing out of these two. Either you can have the pink dress or you can have the yellow dress. You have to make a choice. And these types of sentences in which you have to make a choice, these are called the choice questions. Now, let's learn how to change a declarative sentence with an action verb into an interrogative sentence. A declarative sentence is a sentence that is a statement that somebody states. So we can say the simple sentences that we usually speak are the declarative sentences. Now let's come to the first sentence. He jumped into the pool. So what is the action verb here? Jumped. They prepared for the test together. What is the action verb here? It is prepare. Rohan goes for a walk daily. Now what is the action verb here? It is goes. We will learn how can we change these declarative sentences into the interrogative sentences. When we have an action verb in the sentence, then the interrogative sentence starts either with do or with does or with did. Now let's see where we have to use do, where we have to use does, and where we have to use did in the interrogative sentence. Let's start with do. We have a sentence here. They run fast. They run fast. The subject here is plural the verb here is in present. Now we will change this sentence into an interrogative sentence. It should start with do. When we have the plural subject and the verb is in present, so the interrogative sentence always starts with do. Do they run fast? And we use the present verb only. The verb which is given in the sentence, the present form of the same verb is used in the sentence. Let's take one more example. We love our country. We love our country. We can see here that the subject is plural. The verb is in present. So how will we change it? We will start the sentence with do. Immediately after do, we have the subject. And what is the subject here? We, which is a plural subject. Do we, and then we have the verb, the present verb. Do we love, and then the rest of the sentence. Now, is there anything still missing in these sentences? Yes, these are the question marks. If we don't put the question marks in the end, then they are not the interrogative sentences. They are not the complete interrogative sentences. So this is how we change the sentences with the plural subject and the present verb into the interrogative sentences. When the subject is plural and the verb is in present, the interrogative sentence always starts with do. So what should be the formation of these sentences? Do plus the subject plus the verb, and if the verb is in present form. Do plus subject plus verb in the present form plus the remainder. Remainder means the rest of the sentence, and the most important thing here is the question mark in the end. This is how we change these sentences. Now let's see, when do we have to start the interrogative sentences with does? When will we start the interrogative sentences with does? In the previous part we had the plural subject, and in this part we have the singular subject. She runs fast. She runs fast. How will we change it? We will change it in a way that it will start with does. Does, and then the subject. Does she run? Does she run fast? And then the question mark. So how did we change it? We started the question with does. We have used the subject, and then we have used the verb run. We have seen that here in the sentence the verb is runs, but when we have used does in the sentence, so we don't use s or es with the verb that is given in the sentence. Let's take one more example here. Neha helps me. Neha helps me. The subject is singular. The verb is in present, and with the verb we have used s. But when we will change the sentence into interrogative one, how will we change it? We will start the sentence with does, then the subject, does Neha, and then the verb help me, and then the question mark. When we are using does in the question, so we don't use s or es in the sentence. It was used in the declarative sentence, but it will not be used in the interrogative sentence. This is how we change the sentences with the action verbs when the action verb is in present and the subject is singular into the interrogative sentence. Now let's see when will we start the interrogative sentence with did. When will we start the interrogative sentence with did? We had a sentence, Neha helps me. We will use the same sentence but only with the changed form of verb. Neha helped me. Neha helped me. We have the singular subject. The verb is in past. So how will we start it? We will start it with did. Did Neha help me or did Neha help me? We should use the present verb. Did Neha help me? And then the question mark. We see here when the verb is in past, the question starts with did. Immediately after that we have the subject and then we have the present verb. We don't have to use the past verb here. Did is the past of do and we have already used it. So we will have the formation did plus subject plus the present verb. Present verb plus the remainder. Remainder means the rest of the sentence and then the interrogative mark. We should always start the sentence with did when we have the past verb. Either the subject is singular or the subject is plural. We always have to use did. Suppose in place of Neha, if we had some plural subject, let's say they. They helped me. Now the subject here is plural. The verb is in past. So it will start with did. They help me and then the question mark. Either the subject is singular or the subject is plural in the past. We always start the sentence with did. This is how we change these sentences into the interrogative sentences. Now we have an exception here, that is with the subject I. We have learned that when we have the singular subject and the verb is in present, so we start the sentence with does. But I is an exception. With I, we use the rules of plural. So when will we change this sentence into an interrogative one? We will start it with do. Do I write with a pen? And then the question mark. I is the only exception with which we use the rules of plural. We have started this interrogative sentence with do. In the next part of this video, we will learn how to change some other types of declarative sentences into the interrogative ones. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.